Hey guys, it's Miss Tinty here. We are going to continue our work with grammar that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. And today we're going to talk about fused sentences and comma splices. You probably have never heard the word fused or the word comma splice, so let's talk a little bit about what that means. So you know what a run-on sentence is, and a run-on sentence is basically a sentence that contains two improperly joined sentences. So they're like two independent clauses smooshed together. There are two types of these run-on sentences. One is a fused sentence, and one is called a comma splice. So this is what a fused sentence is. It occurs when two sentences are joined without any punctuation. So they don't have a comma, they don't have anything that will connect them like a conjunction that we've learned about, like fanboys. So here's an example of what that looks like. And remember, this is not correct, it's incorrect. Some students think they can study for an important exam by cramming all night. They are probably wrong. As you know, this is an independent clause right here where it goes till all night, and then they are probably wrong is another sentence. So it's basically two sentences fused or smushed into one. Not correct. This is another one that we see a lot, a comma splice. It occurs when two sentences are joined with a comma. So it's putting together two sentences with a comma in between. That's also not correct because it has to have some sort of joining conjunction, coordinating conjunction. The teacher told the students to complete the section on comma splices, comma, she also told them to compose a 5-page essay. This again is incorrect. Why? They've just combined two sentences and put one comma in between them. That is called a comma splice, and that is wrong. So how do we fix it? What can we do? Well, there are 5 ways to correct run-on sentences. Here they are. Some of these you already know. You can add a period, meaning you can make these into two separate sentences, right? Like in this case, you could say, the teacher told the students to complete the section on comma splices, period, capital S. She also told them to compose a 5-page essay. So you can add a period. You can use something called a semicolon, which we are actually going to talk about in just a few minutes. We could use a comma and a fanboys. You remember that's for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. You could add a subordinating conjunction, which is what you worked on last week, whereas, however, etc. Or you could just plain old rewrite it. So these are the 5 ways that we can fix this problem. And when you are writing emails or when you are writing essays, you want to make sure that you are not filling your papers, filling your emails with these run-on sentences, because they're very easy to fix. You just have to pay attention. All right, so here's our first example. We could add a period. Miranda was the lead vocalist in her band. It was a punk rock band. Okay, we can hear that there is a problem here. This is one long sentence. So we're going to add a period. Miranda was the lead vocalist in her band, period. It was a punk rock band. Solution number 1, add a period, like this. Now, solution number 2 is using a semicolon. You've seen this before. You may not know how to use it. It's on your keyboard next to the letter L. Some students think they can study for an important exam by cramming all night. They are probably wrong. We've seen this example before. We know something is going on here. Let's see how to fix it. Some students can think they can study for an important exam by cramming all night. Semicolon. They are probably wrong. Notice this is all still one sentence, but because we've put this punctuation, this semicolon, it allows for us to have two independent clauses next to each other. So we are not going to capitalize they. We're going to leave it semicolon and lowercase t for they. And this works. Using a semicolon is another way to fix a fused sentence or comma splice. This one we already know, so I'm not going to talk about it at length, but using a comma in fanboys, we know that we can add comma and, comma for, and, comma nor, etc. We could add a subordinating conjunction. You just did this last week. Words like after, although, before, unless, as. Georgia likes yoga, Paulina does not. Okay, how can we fix that? Although Georgia likes yoga, comma, Paulina does not. We can put a subordinating conjunction word here, which means we add our comma here. The final thing we can do is just rewrite the sentence. If it's not going to work, or if it'll be easier to just rewrite it versus adding a semicolon or whatever, you could just rewrite it. Ninjas are known for their stealth. They are also known for their ability to be shadow-like. Well, that's a wordy sentence. Let's just rewrite it and change it around a little bit. Ninjas are known for their stealth and their ability to be shadow-like. Now we've got ourselves a nice complete sentence that is not a run-on. So, are the following comma splices or fused sentences? How would we fix them? Remember, you know it's a comma splice if there's a comma added between the two independent clauses. It's a fused sentence if it's just a run-on, and you have 5 different ways that you could fix it. Plastic surgery costs are decreasing. The number of people having it are increasing. Comma splice. How do I know? Here's that comma putting together 2 sentences. How could we fix it? We could add comma and, comma for. We could rewrite it, or we could make this a semicolon. So these are just some of the ways that we can fix the problem of fused sentences and comma splices.